Here at WickedBinge, we're not here to judge our audience. Except when we are, of course. Now, relax, we're not going to tell you which side of the afterlife you'll end up on based on your preferences. But nonetheless, I'm Kristijan with WickedBinge, and today we're telling you what your favorite Hazbin Hotel character says about you. Let's start with the main heroine herself, Charlie. Charlie is about as uncharacteristically nice as you could expect from a future ruler of hell. Were it not for her royal status, there'd simply be no understandable explanation as to why she's on this side of the afterlife. She's kind, caring, and did not canonically chase a YouTuber down the city streets without consent. If Charlie is your favorite, you're definitely in good company. Pretty much everyone loves her, but you go the extra mile. Many people say that pure good characters tend to be boring, or at least less interesting than their more morally questionable counterparts. You are not such people. You can appreciate acts of kindness everywhere, be they real or fictional.
A smile is a valuable tool, my dear.
You're definitely the type of person to wear one of those kind people are my kind of people shirts, but take caution, you might even be a bit too nice and upbeat. Like Charlie, this can lead to you taking on others' problems before your own, or looking on the bright side. Despite the hundreds of storm clouds on the horizon, the world needs people like you, but make sure you're staying grounded in reality. What we're trying to say is that if you're a Charlie, you need a Vaggie in your life. Right off the bat, if Vaggie is your favorite character, there's about a 95% chance you're a lesbian, or at the very least, not straight. But that aside, it's an even safer bet that you're as loyal and dedicated as they come. Vaggie's character is all about loyalty. She devotes herself to supporting and protecting Charlie in any way she can, whether that's by means of advice or emotional support or even just acts of service. Ironically, you're even more likely than a Charlie fan to be wholeheartedly devoted to helping, but for you, it's less about helping out a lot of people and more about helping the ones you care about most in every way, shape, and form possible. And heaven help anyone who tries to stop you, because you're as determined as you are devoted. Speaking of heaven, let's go take a trip there to discuss Adam. Adam is the main antagonist of the season, and the first full-on main villain of the series so far. His frat bro personality, love of rock music, and afterlife-sized ego make Adam a character who strikes that awesome blend of obnoxious and fun.
Awesome job, Danger Tits. Pound it.
Love him or hate him, Adam's presence is an undeniable highlight of every scene he's in, and it's straight up impossible to ignore. If you're a fan of Adam, nothing gets you going quite like a bombastic villain. The more musical numbers, the more you're invested. The bigger the ego, the bigger your enjoyment. You're the kind of person who watches Disney movies just for the villains and their musical numbers. You probably didn't like Wish very much, join the club. It's also probably difficult for you to get through more than 3 sentences without swearing. Now we move on to his right-hand lady, Loot. With Adam down for the count, Loot is spearheading, pun intended, the Extermination Angels, and also whatever the heck is going on with Lilith. If Loot's your favorite, you think she's hot, and that's valid. Just don't deny it, we know what you are. That's not to downplay her other attributes though. With Adam's death ending the season, Loot's drive for vengeance will be stronger than ever. So in addition to liking hot characters, fair play, you also like hot-blooded characters. The angrier they are, the more intrigued you are. This is total speculation, but you might be a masochist. We're not judging, just nudging. But for some people who prefer a more traditional ruler of heaven, enter Sarah and Emily. We're mentioning these two in the same category because 1, they're the only other major characters from heaven so far, and 2, they share almost all of their screen time. If your favorite is Sarah, you're in a bit of a minority, but if I had to guess, you like a project. You like complex characters, and you have an open mind to giving others the benefit of the doubt, even when what they're doing seems really messed up on the surface. One way or another, you want answers, but you're definitely what we'd call a cautious optimist. If Emily is your favorite, you're so real for that, honestly. You're like a Charlie fan on steroids, the sugary sweet cinnamon bun of any friend group, the person who always somehow knows how to comfort someone in need. A pure soul, if you will. Never change. In a world full of almost everyone else in the show, be an Emily. Now it's time to head back to hell, and when it comes from traveling from heaven to hell, Lucifer is as on the nose as it gets. You're attracted to dorkiness in every sense of the word. If you're not a total dork yourself, you're pining after one, to be sure. You also believe that height is truly just a number, and
You are much shorter in real life.
to quote what we said about Emily fans, you're so real for that. You're not quite a fan of the heroes nor villains as much as you are a fan of the 3 C's, confidence, charisma, and creativity. You can find inspiration in just about everything. Heck, you're probably finding inspiration in this sentence, so you're welcome. So find your own rubber duck passion project and get working on it. We believe in you. Now for the character who's like 90% of the fandom's answer to the titular question, Alastor. He's a smooth-talking radio host with a penchant for helping run down business endeavors, and a serial-killing overlord and slave owner. Not that that's important. Alastor has quickly become the most intriguing character in the series, whether you like him in a Tumblr sexy man way or a holy crap this dude's interesting way.
I will tear your soul apart.
It's hard to say what Alastor fans are like since, again, he's by far the most popular character in the series, but we'll simplify it like this. If you're a fan of Alastor, You value entertainment and personality above all else. You enjoy things for the sake of enjoying them, and you appreciate characters who do the same. You also have a dark sense of humor, and so to you, there's nothing like a character who's morbid enough to get a kick out of, but has just enough debatable decency to not be labeled as pure evil yet. Also, you're praying that his care for Charlie is genuine, which, same, dude, same. If your favorite character is Sir Pentious, you're honestly just straight up correct. My favorite character, a scriptwriter POV, is between Alastor and Pentious, and while both of them are awesome in their own ways, Sir Pentious has a particular charm to him that just can't be matched.
We meet yet again, Alastor.
Do I know you?
Oh, yes you do.
Chaotic good is your bread and butter. You love to joke around, sure, but you also love genuine, bona fide redemption stories. There's nothing like a character with way more to them than the surface level stuff after all. You root for the underdog whenever it's possible, so those final 30 seconds gave you absolute euphoria. In conclusion, you're someone who's got way more of a soft side than you let on. At least, that's how you'd put it. In reality, everyone knows you're a total softie, and also, if we may make a character suggestion, you should invest in King Dedede from the Kirby games. I know, it's weirdly specific, but trust me, you will love him. Now we move on to the series' most divisive character, and the hotel's first guest, Angel Dust. If your favorite is Angel, you're a loser, baby, you loser, goddamn. Just kidding. But if Angel's your favorite, we'd have to guess that you know what it's like to have some less than savory coping mechanisms, and likely some trauma as well.
You think I ask for it? I don't ask for any of it.
We won't pry, I mean, we literally can't, this is a video and I don't even know you, but seeing a character whose flaws, burdens, and coping mechanisms are shown, no matter how ugly they are, is comforting to you. You love to see a down-on-their-luck character grow as a person and become stronger, kinder, and all-around happier. Also, your opinions on Valentino are not exactly positive. Sticking in the hotel for a bit, we next have Alastor's dear friend, I was doing air quotes, Husk. You probably tout yourself as the mean one of the group. I hate people, you say. I don't care, you say. But yeah, you do. Come on, you're way nicer than you gave yourself credit for, and that's okay. You might be blunt at times, sure, but you're also the most likely to jump at the opportunity to help a friend in need, especially if that need is a good listening ear. Like Angel fans, to an extent, you probably like to invest in perpetually sad characters, because whether you relate to them fully or not, you want to see them get better and happier. Alternatively, you might just like cats, or Keith David, or both. They're not mutually exclusive. Feast your eye on this next entry, Nifty. Now, it'd be bold of us to imagine we have any idea what's going on in that head of yours, so we'll keep this one simple. If Nifty is your favorites are determined by 2 words: gag characters. It doesn't matter how many theories surround a cast of characters, the one you're going to gravitate towards is the silliest and goofiest. Whether it's coming up with joke theories on how Nifty actually owns Alastor's soul, or just enjoying the absolute chaos she creates every second she's on screen, Nifty is a national treasure you're more than willing to steal. You're also probably a bit of a contrarian. Not the kind to deliberately choose the road less traveled, so to speak, just the type to stick up for the option most others acknowledge, but not first and foremost. You're a devil's advocate with a little less devil than the term implies. Though, speaking of devil, let's move on to the oldest overlord in the series so far, Zestial. Let me guess, this isn't the first time your favorite character hasn't gotten anywhere near a satisfactory amount of screen time. We've all been there, but perhaps none so much as you. And me, I like weird characters. That said, you believe in quality over quantity. This guy may have only shown up for a few minutes, but his calm demeanor and loyal friendship won you over quickly.
Camilla, what troubles thou?
As such, Zestial fans are probably some of the most simple, chill people in the fandom. You're not so much concerned with theories, who's gonna die, who's gonna live, who's gonna kiss, etc. You're just here to enjoy the ride. Well, okay, you do probably want one kiss to happen. Speaking of which, next we have one of the strongest of the season's new characters, Carmilla. Similarly to Loot fans, Carmilla's fans probably have a strong liking of strong women, but for you it's less black and white than that. Like Carmilla herself, it's more of a gray. You're among the most logical and straightforward people around, and you believe in respect, duty, and orderliness. That said, you don't believe in these things above everything else. They can be pushed to the side for the sake of people you care about. Whatever It Takes has about a 90% chance of being in at least one of your playlists, and Out for Love has a 190% chance. You better show some respect for this next entry, Velvet, backbone of the V's, or so she claims at least. You don't particularly care about being nice, and you care even less if someone else is. What you do care about, my friend, is authenticity. Mincing words is a red flag fit for a bullfight in your eyes. This doesn't mean that you yourself are mean, mind you just appreciate blunt, honest communication. You were probably the kind of kid who rooted for Heather to win Total Drama Island, not because you liked her, but you just wanted to see what would happen. Oh, and you're also into chicks with accents.
The game has changed. We can take the fight to them.
If that descriptor fits you, we also have to recommend Cherry Bomb. Cherry's explosive personality and hobbies, combined with her lovably hedonistic persona, make her one of many fan favorites. At the risk of sounding redundant, once again, nothing matters to you more than a good time. You don't feel the need to explore things in depth. You just want to try as much fun stuff as possible without getting bored. Despite your thrill-seeking side, though, you've got a soft spot for friends and family. You put pleasure before business any day of the week, but when that business involves someone you care about, it might just be the exception. Speaking of loyal friends, next we have an umbrella entry. If your favorite character is Fat Nuggets, Kiki, Razzle, or Dazzle, nothing matters to you like cuteness does. You're the kind of person who will invest in anything with the cute character just to see them do cute things. If you play Pokemon, you couldn't care less about winning, as long as you've got a team of little guys that make you go, aww, constantly. I'd bet you're also a soft-hearted person, and you either have or want a huge stuffed animal collection. You're the kind who will straight up refuse to watch a movie where an animal dies. Not even Cocaine Bear. Frickin' true that. Okay, we've dunked on Valentino plenty in recent videos, but we acknowledge he does have some fans out there. And fret not, we're not here to judge you guys harshly. You have an appreciation for pure evil villains. The more scummy and sleazy they are, the more you want to see them. Tragic backstory? Gray motivation? No, not for you, no thanks. You want pure, unadulterated evil in your life. This probably stems from a love of drama and conflict. You love Valentino as a character, sure, but you're just as ready as anyone else to see Angel freed from his clutches. The higher the stakes, the more you're a fan, and you also might be jealous of Valentino's fashion sense, which is valid, honestly. Nearing the end, let's round out the V's with Vox. We've made a few Tumblr sexy man jokes, but this guy's got to be the most guilty of the bunch. You may or may not be attracted to televisions now. These things just happen. We'll tell you what you definitely are attracted to, though. Underdogs. You probably love Alastor, sure, but you want to see the other lovable psychopath get some time in the spotlight. If Valentino fans love drama, you absolutely live, laugh, and love drama. You'd probably never partake of it yourself, but you're more than happy to enjoy it from a distance, and we're sure Vox will be happy to provide you with some.
Trust us with your safety.
In summary, you're a total geek, but we love you for it. From an old foe of Alastor's to an old friend, next is Rosie. On the surface, you're about the most elegant and collected type of person in the fandom. Beneath the surface, well, the Nifty fans aren't the only ones with a surprisingly dark sense of humor. You're probably a huge horror movie fan, but you prefer the ones that are more lighthearted, so you can laugh at just how ridiculous some of the threats are therein.
It can be difficult to admit to things you're not proud of.
You've probably got a strong liking towards 50s aesthetics, and we'd be willing to bet that Alastor is a close second on your favorites list. But let's not forget about Alastor's other old friend, Mimsy. If Mimsy's your favorite, you're joking, right? Look, I'm all for choosing a favorite character who's underrated, be it limited screen time like Zestial or a lack of lore like Nifty. They can still be interesting. But Mimsy? I mean, I guess if she's your favorite, you have a thing for obnoxious characters?
Easy, cause I'm adorable.
We don't say that to be mean, but it's objectively what she was designed to be. You probably love listening to cringy stories on the internet or watching embarrassing videos. You are immune to secondhand embarrassment, and I can't decide if you're admirable or terrifying for it. We also aren't sure if Katie Killjoy and Tom Trench are anyone's absolute favorites. If they are, though, you love slapstick comedy that involves two people just bashing each other, whether it's those really cruddy boomer comics or some classic Tom and Jerry cartoons. Nothing gets your laugh box going like watching people absolutely roast each other.
Suck it up, you little bitch.
For our grand finale, we have Frank, and by extension the other Egg Boys too. It might seem odd that we ranked them separately from the hotel pets, but the Egg Boys actually have minds of their own. If they're your collective favorite, you're somewhere between a Nifty fan and a Hotel Pets fan. You like cute, charming characters, but you also appreciate delving into some dark humor here and there.
And I was not supposed to talk about it.
It's the perfect yin and yang combination for you. You're the kind of person who would get nominated for prom king or queen as a joke, but somehow then win by complete accident. And the best part, you didn't even know you were running.